Good afternoon, everyone. We are live once again in front of the Humboldt County Courthouse here, where a prayer vigil is taking place. Organizers have explained that members of the group are going to be standing in silence and not offering interviews, but we'll see if we can find Lucinda. Great. Okay, we have Lucinda here. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
So I see you've got some positive honking.
There you go.
Coming in there.
Get you out of the street.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us what the event is about and what you guys are hoping to achieve.
Sure. This is the National Human Life Chain. It started in, I've got some notes here just so
Sure.
I'm nervous. I'm not used to speaking on camera.
Oh, that's okay.
It started in 1987 in Yuba City, California, and here in Humboldt County we've been doing it since 1993. But the purpose of this is to have a quiet, peaceful representation to stand for the value of human life. And I just wanted to read a couple of statistics for you. Since 1973, there have been 66.7 million abortions in the United States. That number is actually much higher because states like California don't actually report their numbers, but 66.7 million babies have been aborted since 1973.
Can you cite a source for that for us?
I don't have it.
No source. Okay.
No, I do have a source, but I
okay.
don't have it in my notes, so I could.
Okay.
But if you Google that, you can find very easily many sources that would provide that. And if I'd known I needed one,
Sure.
I would have brought it. Additionally, since January 1st, if you look to the abortion clock, so that would be theabortionclock.com, that would be where you can find the 1973 number that I just said. So I don't have the source, but if you go there, you'll find it.
Okay.
Since January 1st of 2025, there have been 33.6 million abortions globally. That's since January 1st of this year, 33.6 million abortions. That's 86 abortions every single minute. So in the 90 minutes that we're here, statistically, that's 7,740 babies that will die.
Does it explain, perhaps, does your statistic include the percentage of those that are related to, what they might describe as a medically necessary procedure? Where
this is just aggregate numbers.
So including all scenarios where
Correct.
A woman's life may be at risk, that type of thing?
Well, you can look to medical doctors who will say that after a certain point of gestation, the best thing for a mother who is having a medical issue with their pregnancy is to actually deliver the baby. So that way she's not in danger and the baby's no longer in danger. So there's very rare circumstances of which there would ever be a need for an abortion at any late stage of gestation. However, here in California, through AB 22, I'm going to mispronounce it, Prop 1 and AB 2220 or 2222, there's abortion until first breath. That language of the bill was actually perinatal, which goes to 28 days after birth. And through a lot of pushback to our state, the legislature changed that language to be up until the moment of birth. So here in California, we don't worry about whether or not it's medically necessary. Our state just wants to be able to empower women to kill their children until birth, which is very sad to me.
Wow. So are you familiar with the case of a local woman who experienced a rather tragic incident, Anna Nusslock? The case from St. Joe's?
That I don't want to get into because that gets into a political nature and I'm not here for a political reason.
Okay,
but I did want to share with you.
Her case does revolve around the need for an abortion.
There's different perspectives on that, correct.
Okay, and the doctor prescribed that. Just to be clear for our viewers, that was something a doctor recommended.
But I also wanted to share a few details about viability versus value. A lot of people will say that viability is what determines value, but the reality is viability doesn't determine value. A lot of folks will say if a conceived child dies in the womb or is aborted, even up to the moment of birth, that child wasn't viable. But an infant that dies from SIDS would be considered not viable. Somebody with medical or physical disabilities would be considered not viable if they die from it. Somebody who is an elderly would be maybe considered not viable because they're fully dependent on somebody else. The point is that everybody in those groups, with exception of the unborn, is a protected group. Right now in America, animals raised for slaughter have more human rights or have more rights than unborn babies.
Can we circle back to the definition of unviable and where that is sourced from as well?
Viability has to do with at what point life can be achieved. So that's based on science, is what a lot of people would say, is whether that child is viable, is whether or not they can live outside of the womb. But there's a lot of people who are on life-saving measures that cannot live outside of the womb without those life-saving measures. That would mean without those life-saving measures, they're unviable. So when we talk about what's viable, a lot of people have a different standard inside the womb than they do outside the womb. And we, in America, protect life differently outside the womb than we do inside the womb.
Right.
But the Bible actually tells us that Creator God gets to define His creation. And He's defined that all of His creation is created with value. It says here, I'm just going to read a few scriptures and summarizing them. In Psalm 139, He knew us before we were conceived. Ephesians 2, He created us on purpose for a specific purpose. We are His workmanship. We are His artisanship. Kind of like a potter who is molding clay. In Ephesians 2, it says that those works He created for us, He appointed at the beginning of time. At the moment of conception, there's actually a scientific proven spark that happens at conception when that life begins. It's actually pretty incredible. You can go online and watch it. It's pretty neat. It also says in Romans 8:28 that God doesn't make mistakes. And from our mistakes, He takes something and makes it pretty amazing. And then if God gets to define His creation, and no child, born or unborn, is a mistake, and He knew them from the beginning of time, He says what to do with His creation, and that is do not murder.
Is there a scripture that addresses the prioritization of life between a mother giving birth, for example, and the unborn child she's hoping to deliver? Like which takes precedent in a situation where the mother's life is at risk?
That would be like asking me if I had to choose between my two living children, to kill one and let the other live, which would I choose?
Sort of what a doctor goes through when they have a medical emergency on their
Well, I would say that doctors are not God. They're fallible humans, and they're most of the time judging from a scientific perspective. And they get it wrong a lot of time.
Yeah, but doctors have a job to do, right? They're the one in the room.
They do.
Yeah, okay.
And I think since they have two patients, they should be doing what's in the best interest of both patients.
For the one currently living or the one being born?
Well, they're both living. It's just a matter of gestation. So one is fully gestated and the other one's not, but they're still two patients.
But
and
like, for example,
if I killed you and you're pregnant, I'd be charged with double homicide.
In the case of Anna Nusslock, she had miscarried one, and then shortly after miscarried the other, putting her life in danger, which is what prompted the doctor, if I could nutshell it real quick, prompted her doctor, not just locally, but at UC San Francisco, to recommend the treatment, right? So, clarifying that.
I can tell you this, that I have abortion in my past. I was a teen mom, and I had a very difficult pregnancy. My son came out not breathing. He was purple and gray, and he had to be resuscitated. It was a very difficult pregnancy. He had a very difficult time. And about 6 weeks later, I was pregnant again. I listened to the doctor, who said, your body can't handle having another baby. Your baby will die. So I am recommending you get an abortion, because if you don't, you will probably die. And my son's father at the time, I had just learned that he was addicted to methamphetamines. And so I felt like I had to choose between my two children. I didn't know the Lord. I didn't have a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And I made a decision based on what that doctor told me. And I can tell you this, I think about Gwen every single day. What she would be doing, what she would look like, missing her first steps, her first words, Would she be married right now, getting to see her graduate high school?
Right.
There's so much life that I've missed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that for any other person. I don't want them to have to miss those moments of life with somebody that's dear between them. We've pitted two unlikely people, a mother and her child, and that's not sustainable. A mother should be nurturing to that child. They should be the life giver, the life bearer. And we shouldn't be pitting those people against each other.
Okay.
We should be
I'm
coming
gonna take a
alongside
walk along
mothers
the front
to support
and get
them.
a look at people's signs, okay? Thank you. Here we go. Now, before arriving here today, we did come with the awareness that people will be standing in a vigil, gathered here in silence. So we've been asked not to talk to participants of the vigil, although they are rallying in public here. So we're going to walk across the front line and just get a look at some of the signs and the people here today.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, it is.
How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. Enjoy your vigil.